you come from how you feel. If you're feeling good, then you come good. Now, if you feel bad, you come very bad. And most people, they never look up. They look down. Never do they look to the sky or the stars. Most people, if you notice them, they never raise their eyes above the level of their eyes. So therefore, most people are on a certain plane. Now, I look everywhere. The eyeball has many directions. If you're a real poet, the eyeball goes in many directions. Where am I coming from? I started from point zero. I was born 2 pounds 6 ounces, and I came out 3 months too soon. And my grandmother, she bought a coffin. She was a pessimist after my second day on the earth.
She bought
a coffin.
A coffin?
All right, okay. Dig. And so I was born in the East Bronx, an Irish Italian ghetto. A Russian, Romanian gypsy Jew. And I never wanted to be a poet. I became a poet. I was lucky to find out I had the gift within me. And some Frenchman who was working for, when I showed him this piece of paper with words on it, he said I was a poet. You know what I asked him? What's that? I didn't even know what a poet is.
Just read. What age were you?
Let me finish the question. And so, I happened to be very lucky to find a gift after many years of wandering around like a lost soul. Now, the second part of the question was what?
What age were you?
No, the second part of the question you first answered.
Your questions, not mine. Okay. You've watched the streets out of your mind. Why did the street fascinate you so much?
I discovered something. When I walked out in the street, I opened myself up. When I walked, when I moved my feet, I opened my insides up. What I mean by open my insides up, I opened something inside of me that was enabled me to create, to write openly. You know, and so...
And so what age did you?
No, the age has nothing to do with it.
It does.
But I'm trying to finish the question that you answered me. You asked me.
Okay.
Well, let me try to finish it.
Okay. Do you want me to repeat it?
No. The question I know already. All right. Okay. Now, I opened myself up, and out came these thoughts, which later on were typed up and became poetry or poems, or thoughts while I walked. But it had to me, it wasn't the poetry the ordinary person wrote. It was a poetry came from a higher nature, a higher feeling. Actually, the poems were affirmations. Poetry saved my life. It was so wretched, so poor, so down, so frightened, so insignificant that poetry saved my life. You see, so poor. Therefore, I wrote it to affirm the life. Poetry helped affirm my living, my being. Therefore, poetry is not words on a page. It's not, to me, poetry is not poems in a book. Poetry is the beginning of being alive, the beginning of life. Poetry is life itself. Poetry is the finger moving in the air. Poetry is the shoemaker moving the hammer with the nail coming in the shoe. Poetry is the girl dancing in the rain, smiling at the sun, playing a game. Poetry is the dog wagging its tail. Poetry is the moon talking to the moon, and the moon talking back to you. Poetry is what moves in a poetic manner, a lyrical manner. That's poetry. Most people write shit. They don't write poetry. They write sad, they write what they are, insignificant, self-conscious words that say nothing. You cannot lie in a poem. You cannot lie on a page. Either you have it or you don't have it. There's nothing to define what poetry is. Either it has life or it doesn't have life. Either the sun shines or it doesn't sunshine.